All right, Sean here. Time for part 2 of the best of 2019 in my flow is what I'm calling it. This is kind of a fun chance for me to go back and look at the videos from last year and pick out some of my favorite parts. So this next section is going to take us from April and May. I think just April and May. Lots of videos kind of early last year. Kind of springtime comes to life right around April and May here in Calgary, so it's always a great time to get out and skate. So the first video here, this is Flo Skate Friends with Christine, and this is probably one of my favorite videos from last year. This first part here, rolling that thin ledge that goes around through the trees, that was really fun. That was one where I had been there a few days before and did it over and over and over again just a bunch of times. I thought it was so fun. Couldn't wait to show somebody, so when we got out for a skate with Alex, I was like, all right, we're going here. Let's check it out. Not to mention this spot in general. This is McDougall, the McDougall building in Calgary. Just the skate park. I remember when I was probably 14 years old. I didn't live in Calgary at that time. I lived in Lethbridge, which is a town a few hours south. And then seeing this for the first time, like imagine these ledges and everything around, like I'd never seen anything like it. So it's just, to me, one of those quintessential Calgary spots. So much potential, so much to do there. And it's really fun going out for a rip here with Christine. So we're planning out our lines, figuring out where we can meet and how we can kind of flow between one to the next. And then Alex, the Iron Man, can just go for days and days and days. You know, we get a little break as we're skating in between. He doesn't. Soul grind, and you know it. This is fun, these ledges here, because I'd never actually done this gap over the bench to ledge and then over the next bench. And when I thought about it, I was really nervous that I have too much speed coming towards that second bench and I wouldn't be able to make the jump, but actually it wasn't so hard. Christine here skating on some prototype Wizard PR 72 frame, so 5 72 millimeter wheels. Skates them very well, I must say. She currently has those on some of those blue Them skates, so you have to check out her Instagram. It's at Trauma Blades. I'll put a little something up on the screen there so you can check it out. And this is awesome. Look at the smile on Christine's face. I think she's wearing a mushroom blading shirt there. Shout out to mushroom blading. Joey and Todd, they got their Best of Blade series out right now. So if you haven't checked out their Best of Blade, every year they do, I think it started, golly, a long time ago. But if I have my facts straight, I think what happened was one magazine put out their, Skater of the Year award, and then Todd and Joey wanted to give Richie Eisler award, so they came up with their own Best of Blade, just to say that Richie Eisler was the Blader of the Year. Love the mushroom blading guys. And a big jump. Pow. Fun. Oh, bringing me back. Now here I am, dressed up as Lanny McDonald. So you might not be familiar with who this character is, but he's a legendary hockey player from Alberta. So he grew up in a town, oh golly, in Alberta, Hanna, Alberta. It's a couple hours away from Calgary. And was a well-known junior player in Alberta. Played junior hockey down in Lethbridge for the Lethbridge Sugar Kings. There's a really cool picture of Lanny McDonald in the Lethbridge Sportsplex. And whenever I'm there, I love to go look at the old pictures and old hockey players, and Lanny McDonald's on the wall there. I love it. Now, if we get a good close-up here, if we don't in this video, we will in other ones, but I actually even dyed my beard red because Lanny McDonald was famous for his big, bushy red mustache. And then in 1988, check the facts on that one, the Calgary Flames won the Stanley Cup, and Lanny McDonald was on the Calgary Flames at that time. scored his 500th goal that season, who retired after that year, after winning the Stanley Cup, but he just had this glorious red playoff beard with this big bushy red mustache. Amazing. This here doesn't show up well on camera because just the angle, but balancing the tennis ball on the blade of the stick going down this ramp was not easy. I'm proud of that one. And this is nifty too. Just a 180, 180, and a little daffy. I don't know, just like the way it looks. Nothing so hard. Through the sea, a 540. Did I say it already? This is my son's favorite video. So it makes me feel very proud when he wants to watch my videos, and this is the one he always wants to watch. I'm like, oh no, you gotta check out the new one. He's like, no, Dad. He calls this one Oh Canada. No, Dad, Oh Canada. Let's watch Oh Canada. Yeah, you can see the beard looks pretty red there. My wife is a hairstylist, so went into the hair salon. She, I think, kind of like lightened my beard first and then threw in some red dye. Burned the eyes a little bit as the dye was doing its thing. I feel the fumes hitting my eyes. I love that transition there from the ball. And then here, I think I might cut this off because there was a song that we used that had a copyright. Okay, moving on to the next one. Now this might be the best video of all of last year, I wonder. So this is when Leon and a whole crew were in town to film for Gary Vibes. So we jumped in there and we're like, no, we gotta make a video for the YouTube channel too. They were definitely very motivated to make their Gary Vibes, but if you haven't seen it, please, please, please do yourself a favor, check out Gary Vibes. This is Eric Burrow from Toronto. He's the manager of the Shop Task Toronto store. Just an amazing dude. That's Brian Long. He's the owner and manager of the Shop Task USA in Seattle. Christine and Stanley Cup Lanny back in the game. Danny Beer, one of the best skaters ever from Canada. Right now he's doing big things with the Them Skates crew. This is one of my favorites here. Just in the flow, the two of us. Keeping it close, we get the camera. This was a tricky one. We did this a few times to kind of make this all work together. Leon with that beautiful shifty, kind of that fakey roll, that quick turn up. And here, and I barely make it over this fence. Now look at this magic here. Wow. I don't know how Leon does it. And this was something else, because Danny Beer, what a wild man, like so unpredictable. Look at him just charge. So much speed on those tiny wheels. And he actually jumps over the corner of the hood of the car there. What? Stanley Cup Lanny back on the scene. Tim Hortons. Oh, how perfect is that, hey? Those two big wall ride ledges with the power box in between so you can just roll from one to the next. Around the corner, and then some of my favorite maneuvers are coming up here. So Brian Long, just one of those guys that makes everything he does look so good. And if you're reading what it says below, it says, some of the best skaters in the world learn from watching Stuart Bratty, sorry. He's just so creative, so influential in the skate world that it's really amazing to see the influence that he's had. Man, Canadian skaters actually have done a lot for the world of inline skating. It's pretty cool. That was actually a toe roll there coming down the ramp. It's hard to tell from the angle. Whee! And then here I come. My Justin Bieber shirt on and my favorite camo pants. Man, I gotta get those pants fixed. Missed a few of the slaloms through the lights there. Watching back, I'm like, oh, I remember I was trying to do something a little different. That's life. Leon with a nice med spin. Boom. And coming up here, just to finish this clip up, you'll see him. This right here. I love the way this flows. Oh, Leon, the boss. Miss you guys. Thanks for coming to Calgary. Now where are we? Oh, now we're at the Canadian Olympic Park. So COP we call it here. If you're a Calgarian, we call it COP, but it's Canadian Olympic Park. So this is where when 1988, when Calgary held the Olympics, this is where many of the events were held. Ski jump, bobsled. There's that famous story of the Jamaican bobsled team, right? Cool Runnings. This is Cool Runnings right here. That's where we're at. Also Eddie the Eagle. If you're from the UK, right, you might know Eddie the Eagle. There's a great Netflix movie on Eddie the Eagle. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Special appearance by a Canadian goose. And then here we do a little funkiness with the camera where I hand Alex that camera. Gives us a little chance to switch. In the meantime, Christine is now down at the bottom of the stairs. And I like this. This actually turned out really good. Like, I can't believe I made it down those stairs quite so smoothly. And then Christine surfing super low. And this actually looks really cool. Look at this Daffy. Just a simple Daffy, but tweaked out, held out well. Nicely done. Oh, next video. So now this is me ripping around with my boy Mike Bosch. So this is another one of my favorites from last year. I like this here because I actually somehow get ahead of Mike. He gives me some space. I cut in. Now we're going down the ramp. I'm not sure if Mike sat down low so Alex could film me ahead of him or what happened. But Alex gets in there. So that was cool. But this is the one I like here. So this is basically me just trying to keep up with Mike. And he basically loses me with that turn there. We call those Bosch turns. You can't keep up to his turning skills. So we got me and Mike starting it off. I get this little move in there. Alex gets ahead, passes the camera back to me. This is well coordinated. Little fakey 180 down the stairs, passes the camera back. And a strong finish. Love it. Oh. Exhausted, out of breath, quite pleased with ourselves. Beard is still looking pretty red here. Oh, this is a fun one. So this is just a big, dirty hill bomb coming up. Like dirty as in the road is, it's rough. It's full of traffic normally. We got the timing right with the light, so we got to have the hill for ourselves for a few minutes. But look at how Alex, he's passing me now, right? You can see him gliding past slowly, going faster and faster. And then here I'm like, oh, I gotta skate to try and keep up. Slow down, Alex. He's losing his hat. Oh, and that was one thing from last year that was really cool, was people started saying hello from whatever country they were watching from. And I just loved reading those messages. Hello from around the world. It was really cool. This is tricky here. So getting the speed right on this ledge roll is really tricky. So here I feel like I'm going a little bit slow. Like I could have been rolling a bit faster. But the trouble is when I come down here and I get to the next roll, there's a sign right there. and it's really hard not to run into that sign. So you gotta have the speed right so I'm in control so I can get on that ledge without actually hitting the sign. This is nice. 180 up, fakie 3, and then a little kind of gazelle-ish. Wasn't technically a gazelle, but it was close. And Alex with a few little slidey doodles. All right, thank you again for watching. So that's part 2. So we're in May, so that means we've got June, July, August. Still, you know, half a year to go through. But thanks again for watching. There will be lots more fresh footage in the weeks to come, I promise you. We've been getting out skating a little bit. The weather is not conducive to skating. And it's kind of the holiday season, so it's nice to be at home with the kids as opposed to outside freezing my butt off trying to hustle some skate clips. Anyways, thank you so much. Namaste. We'll see you in the next one.